Welcome to Anime Recall. Today, I will explain a 2015 anime series called Showman Sample. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. Showman Sample is set in an idealistic world where highborn female students of the all-girls school, Seikain, are isolated from the rest of the world in hopes of preserving their purity and innocence. Despite graduating at the top of their class, the female graduates of Seikain struggle to cope in the real world, and they either become antisocial or total shut-ins. The school has decided to kidnap a male commoner to help guide the students on how commoners handle day-to-day living. Here's where Kimito Kagurazaka comes into the picture. One day at school, Kimito was kidnapped and brought to the all-girls school Seikain. It was later explained to him by the head maid Miyuki that the school is a top-secret academy for the daughters of affluent and influential families. It has come to the school's attention that the graduates from this prestigious school are struggling to cope in the real world, mostly because they were secluded from the commoners or the male populace in general during high school. To help future graduates, the school has kidnapped Kimito to become the school's first gay student to help curb the anxieties and social problems the female students would encounter in the future. There's just one problem. Kimito is not gay. He even has a fetish for women's thighs. He was carefully selected for the Showman Sample. After extensive research on him, Kimito is found to be average at everything else, making him the perfect candidate as a commoner. Still, the deciding factor was the testimony given by his childhood friend, Hanae Eri, who claimed that Kimito is a gay man and is into muscular men. After Kimito's outburst claiming that he is not gay, the head maid considers her options that she may have made a mistake. Either Kimito may have to live the rest of his life in a secluded area that is not on any map to protect the school's secret, or should he stay in the school, they would have to cut off his private parts to protect the female student's innocence. Kimito has no choice but to pretend that he is gay or face the consequences. On his first day at school, he is greeted by Reiko Arisugawa. Reiko is the most popular girl at school because of her refined personality. Her classmates often describe her as the most innocent, friendly, and cheerful girl. Because of her bubbly personality, she tends to act as the class representative for the first-year high school students at Seikain. She quickly grows fond of Kimito and develops romantic feelings for him. Together with Reiko, Kimito, and Aika Tenkubashi, the three form the first Commoners Club. Aiko also meets Kimito on his first day at school. When she tries to kiss him, she heard the rumor that all of your wishes will be granted if you kiss a commoner. Aika is quite the opposite of Reiko, whereas Aika is quite unpopular at the school due to her childish, naive, and shy personality. Her classmates frequently misunderstand her, so she tries to distance herself from the group. Despite her tsundere personality, she is described by Kimito as pure and way too honest. She later also grows feelings for Kimito and fights with Reiko over Kimito's attention. Kimito first introduced the class to cell phones and handheld games. He also showed the class a common food item, ramen. To commemorate Kimito's joining, the class held a welcoming party where Kimito managed to dance with Reiko. Everyone was shocked that Kimito could keep up with Reiko despite being a commoner. Later, Kimito introduced manga to Aika and was so fascinated that at some point she believed that she had the uncanny ability to freeze time. During that time, she has shown her panties to Kimito and even almost kisses him. Later that day, Kimito walks in on Reiko in the shower naked, and having her body seen naked, Reiko is convinced that they should marry. Kimito later learns that his parents were bought off and paid a huge amount of money to allow Kimito to attend Seikain. While walking back to the dorms, he stumbles upon Hakua Shiodome, who is scribbling on a statue when she suddenly strips naked. As it turns out, Hakua is the school's resident genius. Despite her soft-spoken voice and childlike appearance, this child prodigy is a genius in engineering, math, and science. With her reserved demeanor and quiet personality, she often comes across as antisocial. Feeling embarrassed, Kimito brings Hakua to his room and feeds her with ramen. Hakua suddenly strips again when suddenly Aika barges into Kimito's room and gets the wrong idea. Kimito walks Hakua back to her laboratory, where Hakua expresses to him that she has grown fond of him and would like to stay with him, much to the dismay of Hakua's maids. It wasn't long after then that Kimito met Karen Kinryo, the katana-wielding martial artist. Karen's personality comes off as cold and withdrawn, so her classmates often describe her as a scary person. She is mostly seen alone, but she is the type who can't help herself worry about other people. She is also described as shy and a klutz, who often makes mistakes. On their first encounter, Karen rushed on to attack Kimito out of nowhere, but because she brazenly swung her sword around, Kimito easily dodged her attacks. At this point, Karen believes that she has been defeated, swears her loyalty to Kimito, and calls him her master. She has vowed to one day defeat Kimito and kill him. She later joins the Commoners Club, where she meets Hakuwa and strangely develops feelings for her. In the hopes of getting closer to Kimito, Reiko invites him to a tea party in her room, but he politely declines as he has already made plans with Aika to plan a Commoners party so that she could make new friends. Kimito finds himself waking up to a naked Hakuwa sleeping in his bed. Kimito was teaching Hakuwa how to cook potato cakes when she suddenly got the urge to strip naked. After a game of riddles with Hakuwa, he walks her back to her place, where he finds a plushie of him on her bed, much to Hakuwa's embarrassment. Meanwhile, Reiko and Aika spend some time in Kimito's room reading manga when they spill their soda on their clothes. The two removed their clothes and hung them to dry while they patiently waited for Kimito. Kimito walks in on the two girls in their underwear on his bed and gets the wrong idea. He quickly runs off while the two desperately race after him to clear up the misunderstanding. The next day, the students of Seikain are going on a school trip to a commercially built Shomin land. It was specifically retrofitted to mimic what a commoner city would look like, complete with random shops and restaurants so that the girls would learn how to handle simple things like ordering food at a restaurant, riding cable cars, or even reading road signs. Kimito uses this chance to help Aika become popular by teaching her more of this commoner stuff. Kimito helps Karen shop and try new clothes, while Aika and Reiko spend quality time together and become closer friends. Back at the inn, the girls bathe in the outdoor bath. Kimito was already bathing and soon found himself in a dangerous situation, so he hid underwater while the girls bathed. Kimito almost drowned while hiding underwater, and Aika revives him with a kiss. They were later rumored to be dating because of what happened at the outdoor bath and with Aika and Kimito's kiss. Much to the shock of everyone at school, it was later revealed that the head maid Miyuko has been waking Kimito with a kiss every morning. Kimito also popularized the fortune-telling game on his cell phone at school. The girls are so obsessed with the game and trying to compete with one another on who would be the best candidate to marry Kimito. As it turns out, Karen and Kimito have perfect scores on the fortune-telling game, which indicates that they are most suitable for each other, much to the dismay of the other girls. Karen invites Kimito over to her room, pretending to fix a shirt she tore up. She later changes into revealing clothes that Kimito helped pick out back when they were on the school trip at Shomin Land. As the two become intimate with one another, they are later interrupted by the other girls who are looking for Kimito. They both hide in the closet, making their bodies physically closer. They were later discovered, and Kimito had to explain himself before the other girls got the wrong idea. One day, Kimito had the crazy idea of introducing the girls to the concept of a maid cafe. They struggled with the idea since they are used to being surrounded by maids daily due to their luxurious lifestyle. The girls still wanted to try it out, so they dressed as maids and served Kimito as the cafe customer. Everything was going so well until Reiko decided to sing. Despite being the most popular girl at school, who excels in everything else, Reiko turns out to have a horrible singing voice. Meanwhile, Hakuwa is still troubled with the fortune-telling results between her and Kimito and decides to invite Kimito to spend the day with him to get to know him better. Hakuwa's maids help her master devise ways for the two to become closer. Everything was going so well until the head maid Miyuko interrupted the maids. Despite how the day ended, the maids were still happy to have helped Hakuwa get closer to Kimito. One time, Reiko overhears Kimito talking to his friends over the phone, and he sounds as if he missed them so much that he would have to leave Seikain because of it. Much to the dismay of the other girls, they decided to act more manly, as if they were Kimito's male friends, so that he would not have to leave Seikain. Kimito reassures the girls that he will never leave Seikain, despite how he missed his old life. When Kimito and Reiko get closer to one another, they are suddenly summoned to a meeting with Reiko's mother, Hoko, and Reiko's brother, Masomi. Masomi has a sister complex and is displeased with Kimito's closeness to his sister. Much to Reiko's disappointment, her mother informs her that she is not to be married to the son of a business partner. She is to leave Seikain immediately to attend a meeting with her future husband. Everyone was shocked by the news, but felt it was a family affair and they were not allowed to get involved. Despite that, the girls still wanted to help Reiko, so they decide to enlist the help of Reiko's brother, who also happens to be against the arranged marriage. Kimito and the rest of the girls sneak out of the academy. They rode in Masomi's car on the way to the meeting. The group arrived early at the meeting place, but found the place heavily guarded by bodyguards and maids. Determined to stop the meeting at all costs, the girls decide to help each other. Karen rushes to the gates and faces multiple bodyguards while Masomi fends off his martial arts instructor. Meanwhile, inside, Hakuo manages to hack the security system while Aika and Kimito manage to reach the last room where the meeting will take place. Kimito pleads with Hoko, Reiko's mother, to call off the meeting and promises to take care of Reiko. Seeing Kimito plead for her freedom, Reiko also speaks up to her mother and refuses to get married even if she would be disowned by her own family and will no longer be able to return to Seikain. Reiko's mother calls off the meeting and acknowledges Kimoto's promise as his marriage proposal to Reiko, and Kimito is now engaged to Reiko. Reiko's mother agrees to the marriage, but only so she can ensure that Kimoto's life will be a living hell until he decides to divorce Reiko. The group returns to Seikain, where he apologizes for the misunderstanding. The anime series ends with the Commoners Club resuming its activities. For more anime recaps like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. As always, like and comment to help out our channel. Thanks for watching.